Oh my God. Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling out Trump very publicly right now. The right wing's losing their mind over it, and that means I'm having a pretty good week.
We have to do something about labor, and that needs to be a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person and deporting them just like that. Wages have not gone up. Health insurance premiums are going to go up. We aren't doing anything about Blackstone buying up houses where most young people can't find a house and they're having to compete in bidding wars.
Right.
For the love of God, what are we doing?
Maggie Taggy Graggy is calling out Donald Trump on immigration, the Epstein thing, obviously, and the deepening unaffordability crisis with pretty much like everything.
I know people that literally, some of my own personal family members, some of my own personal friends, they're getting by month to month, charging up their credit cards. Literally, that's how they're getting by, charging up their credit cards. And no, all I've seen is a revolving door of foreign leaders in the White House.
Crap, now I agree with her on two things. One, Trump's policies are inhumane and bad for the working class. And two, this is a normal workout, right? This is how people should look when they work out. You should be a snake. A sky snake, a lot of rippling. Why do I find that mildly attractive? I don't know. Democrats are praising Marjorie, and her one-time Republican allies are foaming at the mouth. Why? Because she had the temerity to say very obvious things out loud.
And I'm talking to major manufacturing companies they're saying we support the president, we support what he's trying, his long-term goal, but we're having problems with these tariffs. And now we're having problems. We can't get supplies from this country and we can't get supplies from this country. And there's problems, but have regular people's bank accounts been affected? Has the stress come off? No, that has not happened yet. And that needs to be the major focus. It shouldn't be about helping your crypto donors or your AI donors or welcoming in these people that hated you and spent money to try to beat you, but all of a sudden are excited to come out to the new Rose Garden patio.
Yes.
That shouldn't be the focus. The focus should be the people that showed up at the rallies, stood there for freaking 18 hours trying to get in the rain, in the cold, in the 100-degree heat. For those people, those are the ones that I care about. Those are the ones that voted for not only the president, but every single Republican gave us power. I don't think those people are being served.
PG's recent pivot of criticizing partisan politics exposes just how detached politics has become from its original actual purpose, helping people. Crazy, huh?
Insurance across the board, it's crushing people. The cost of living is gone so high in the past 4.5 years, and it hasn't come down. Rent is unaffordable. You can't buy a home. A lot of people don't even know if they'll ever be able to buy a home. But insurance premiums are unbelievably high.
Up and to the right.
Yep, and they're looking to go up. Not only people on the ACA, but people that have private plans as well. This is the number one issue I hear about in my district. I work for Georgia's 14th district, and so I'm willing to take off team jerseys, so to speak, right now and call it literally like it is. This is a crisis in America, and I really want to work on it.
So this actually sounds like real populism. Cost of living is through the roof. Well, a roof no one can actually afford because rent somehow seems to jump 3 to 5% every single year. And for what? Stagnant wages, higher interest rates, skyrocketing insurance premiums. Everything's a mess. But here's the thing, Marjorie Taylor Greene, terrible as she may be most of the time, is merely acknowledging it. Marjorie Taylor Greene is now some like crazy iconoclast and pariah of the right because for once she's acknowledging reality under Donald Trump. She's speaking to what people are actually feeling instead of just pretending that everything's fine because that's what the donor class and Dear Daddy Trump would have her say to everyone. Nothing's magically gotten easier under her guy Trump. Like it seems like she's taken off the political jersey and at least is saying she wants to tackle the issues head on. And she's doing it in her own little way that is pissing off a lot of Republican dudes specifically. She said there's a lot of weak Republican men and they're more afraid of strong Republican women. So they always try to marginalize the strong Republican women that actually want to do something and actually want to achieve. And she's saying that it's a lot worse under Mike Johnson than it was under Kevin McCarthy. She noted that Speaker Mike Johnson had issues dealing with women like her, probably because he looks like one of those dudes dudes from Handmaid's Tale. Quote, they're always intimidated by stronger Republican women because we mean it and we will do it and we will make them look bad. She also said, I'm absolutely disgusted that health insurance premiums will double if the tax credits expire this year. Also, I think health insurance and all insurance is a scam, just to be clear. Fine. She said not a single Republican in leadership talked to us about this or has given us a plan to help Americans deal with their health insurance premiums doubling, which is what will happen if the Republicans get their way under the new budget. She said, I don't think it's believable to tell the American people that while we control the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, that we can't return to work in Washington, D.C. because Chuck Schumer and 6 other Democrats won't vote to open the government. She said, I know people. They don't believe that. And calling out all of Trump's yes men, she said, I'm not some sort of blind slave to the president, and I don't think anyone should be. She says, I'm not elected by the president. I'm not elected by anyone that works in the White House. I'm elected by my district. That's who I work for. And I got elected without the president's endorsement. And, I think that has served me really well. And it's not just that. She's even crossed over on immigration, which I don't know if you've been keeping track, but that is the issue Trump Republicans have been absolutely hell-bent on fixing.
As a conservative and as a business owner in the construction industry, and as a realist, I can say we have to do something about labor, and that needs to be a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person and deporting them just like that. Right. So, and I'm going to get pushback on that, but I'm just living in reality from here on out.
Yeah.
And if anybody's mad at me for saying the truth, then I'm sorry.
Now, this isn't just a, hey, never mind that we're ripping apart families and human beings. Let's maybe just be a little smarter about it. This is a full-on shot at Trump, Stephen Miller, and Kristi Noem. So, you know what? Credit where credit is due. She's not letting party politics completely drown out the actual struggle that her entire constituency is living through. And MAGA is not happy about it. Upon her saying that, hey, it might be a little too expensive right now, and maybe we shouldn't be like the worst to people who are just trying to support their families, Cat Turd responds, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Democrats' new superhero, which I don't think he realizes depicts Democrats as being the ones who want lower prices, lower insurance premiums, easier cost of living, human decency. And someone named Kentucky Girl and @NotWokeNow couldn't really decide what her moniker should be. And I can't tell if she's important because she has a blue check, but I don't know who this is, said MTG has now come out and said she did not think every illegal should be deported. She thinks illegals who take jobs from Americans should be allowed to stay in the U.S. She is not America first. She is not MAGA. Wake up and stop supporting this RINO. And this isn't like an isolated incident. She's been doing this since when Trump dropped bombs on Iran.
Tell you what, 6 months in, Steve, and here we are, turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran.
The responses have been childish, and that might be what's so delightful about them. An X account called Dumb Finder wrote, found 2 RINOs, for those who didn't know, Republican in name only, Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie, and this might be my favorite AI video I've ever seen. You see how she's on like a rhinoceros riding around and in front of the White House, and it has a saddle because a lot of rhinos saddles, and then there's Thomas Massie. He's got a sombrero because of, and so does Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she's got some kind of Palestinian prayer shawl. I don't know what that's called because I'm Jewish. And the RINO's going to get you. They seem happy on this. Only makes me want to buy a RINO. But here's the thing. These guys are talking about how they're the big tent party and will accept people if their opinion drifts away from the party line. But the second Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't fit that party line, the sycophantic grifters lose it. Human Terrarium, Laura Loomer wrote, I told you MT Greene is trying to rebrand as a Democrat. Don't be surprised if she runs for president as a Democrat in 2028. She's trying to get the most anti-Trump, left-leaning personality to reshape her image and get the left to give her a chance. She wants revenge on President Trump because he didn't endorse her Senate and gubernatorial campaigns in Georgia. She wants to destroy MAGA because she isn't the leader of MAGA. Keep in mind, Marjorie Taylor Greene tweets praise for Donald Trump like every single day. This was just a few days ago. She said, yesterday morning, I praised and prayed for President Trump's success today, and I've watched in awe of today's events in Israel and Egypt. Blah, blah, blah. Blessed be the peacemakers. May healing begin for all. Yay. But the hounds are still after her regardless. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, the same woman who built her image on loyalty oaths, anti-woke outrage, a Jewish space laser or two, and groping cardboard cutouts of Trump's pee-pee, is suddenly starting to sound reasonable, kinda. And it's actually about issues Trump promised he'd fix, but instantly ignored the moment he got into office. This proves that the one thing MAGA will not tolerate is acknowledging reality. And I thought it was huge when people like Joe Rogan were starting to jump ship.
I really thought they were just going to go after the criminals. I really thought there was enough gang members and enough people, MS-13 members and whatever they were looking for, that they're wanted. They would go after those guys.
If he became a real priest, it wouldn't surprise me. But when it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's pretty much all you need to know about the Republican Party right now. Trump keeps this up, who knows? Maybe she'll replace Pelosi's name with Trump in these terrifying yet delicious sounding words of warning.
Not only do we have the DC jail, which is the DC gulag, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's gazpacho police. This government has turned into something it was never meant to be, and it's time to make it end.
God, who's hungry for, what is that, a cold soup? I go for a cold soup right now. I'm gonna need it when Marjorie Taylor Greene's president.
If you don't see a Republican candidate in 2028 that has the values that you think matter, will you throw your hat in the ring?
Oh my goodness. I hate politics so much, Tim.
I know, but you are a congresswoman.
Oh, I'm a congresswoman.
So it isn't a crazy question.
Well, people are saying that, and I've seen a few people saying she's running. What I'm doing right now is I very much want to fix problems. That's honestly all I care about. And I am genuinely angry on behalf of every American, even if they're a Democrat and they don't like me.
Yeah.
I'm upset for them as well.
God, that wasn't a no. I'd say I hope she runs, but then I thought Trump would lose. Anyways, get some sleep, huh?